Ever wondered why some people are naturally immune to manipulation? Today, we're cracking the code behind Sigma males. Sigma males, a term coined to describe those who are introverted, self-sufficient, and nonconformist, defy the usual social hierarchy. They are the lone wolves, the ones who prefer their own company to the hustle and bustle of social gatherings. Sigma males are like a puzzle that's intriguing yet challenging to solve. They are not easily influenced by others, and their actions are not dictated by societal expectations or norms. They march to the beat of their own drum, and they're perfectly content doing so. One of the key characteristics of Sigma males is their emotional self-sufficiency. They don't rely on others to validate their feelings or decisions. This makes them highly resistant to manipulation. They're not swayed by guilt trips, emotional blackmail, or any other kind of psychological maneuvering. When someone tries to manipulate a Sigma male, they're met with a calm, unfazed demeanor that can be both baffling and frustrating. Another fascinating trait of Sigma males is their love for solitude. They are not loners out of necessity, but by choice. They thrive in their own space, away from the noise and distractions of the world. This love for solitude can be a powerful shield against manipulation. After all, it's harder to manipulate someone who is not desperate for company or approval. But make no mistake, being a Sigma male is not about being cold or indifferent. It's about being true to oneself and not allowing others to dictate one's feelings or actions. It's about knowing one's worth and not seeking validation from external sources. The Sigma male is a fascinating enigma, a lone wolf who thrives in solitude and remains unfazed by external influences. They are the epitome of emotional strength and independence, a testament to the power of self-sufficiency and introspection. So, next time you come across a Sigma male, remember, they're not being difficult. They're simply being themselves. Picture this. Someone tries to manipulate a Sigma male, expecting a reaction, but ends up with a blank stare instead. That's right, folks. The initial shock people experience when they realize they can't control Sigmas is quite a sight to behold. Imagine a puppeteer who, for the first time, pulls the strings, and the puppet doesn't dance. That's exactly what it's like when someone tries to manipulate a Sigma. They're left scratching their heads, wondering why their usual tactics aren't working. You see, Sigma males are wired differently. As lone wolves, they've developed emotional self-sufficiency. They don't seek validation from others, nor do they let anyone dictate their emotional state. They stay true to their feelings, and they won't let anyone toy with them. When someone tries to guilt-trip a Sigma or provoke them into reacting, they're met with a calm, unfazed demeanor. Instead of getting riled up, a Sigma might just raise an eyebrow and say, "Huh, interesting." This unexpected response often leaves the manipulator in a state of bewilderment. It's like trying to play a game of chess with a player who doesn't adhere to the traditional rules. You can't predict their next move because they're not playing by your playbook. They have their own strategy, their own tactics, and they're not about to let anyone else determine their moves. This is where the manipulator's initial shock comes in. They're not used to this. They're used to people reacting, getting defensive, or succumbing to their tactics. But a Sigma, they just stand there, calm and composed, refusing to play the game. And this, my friends, is where the power of Sigma males lies. By remaining composed in the face of manipulation, they send a strong message. They control their life, not anyone else. They won't be swayed by others' attempts to control them. They're the masters of their own destiny. So the next time you find someone trying to pull your strings, remember this. Your calm demeanor sends a powerful message. You are in control. You dictate your life, not anyone else. When direct manipulation fails, some resort to passive-aggressive tactics, like the silent treatment. But what happens when you try to punish a Sigma male with solitude? Well, let's just say it's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It's not only ineffective, but it actually fuels the fire. You see, Sigma males thrive in solitude. It's their natural habitat, their comfort zone. So, when someone decides to give a Sigma male the silent treatment, it's not seen as a punishment, but rather an opportunity. Imagine this scenario. A person, frustrated by their inability to control a Sigma male, decides to withdraw their attention, thinking it will cause distress or discomfort. But instead of feeling anxious or upset, the Sigma male simply shrugs and continues on with their life. They might even breathe a sigh of relief, welcoming the break from social interactions. The irony of this situation is palpable. The person trying to manipulate the Sigma male ends up giving them exactly what they want: peace and quiet. And while the person waits for their silent treatment to have an impact, the Sigma male is relishing their solitude, perhaps diving into a good book, focusing on their hobbies, or simply enjoying their own company. It's a classic case of a plan backfiring. The person intended to cause discomfort, but they ended up providing comfort instead. They thought they were withdrawing something valuable, but it turned out to be something the Sigma male was more than happy to do without. This is not to say Sigma males are antisocial or don't value relationships. They do, but on their own terms. They don't need constant social interaction to feel validated or content. They're perfectly fine being by themselves, and they don't see solitude as a punishment, but rather a reward. In conclusion, trying to manipulate a Sigma male with the silent treatment is like trying to douse a flame with kerosene. It's not only ineffective, but it also strengthens the Sigma male's resolve, reinforcing their independence and self-sufficiency. So, remember, for a Sigma male, solitude isn't a punishment, it's a reward. When all else fails, some resort to emotional outbursts, hoping to provoke a reaction. But what happens when a Sigma male remains calm amidst the chaos? You see, Sigma males are like a steady ship in the turbulent sea of emotions. They stay composed, maintaining their course, while others are tossed around by the waves of their feelings. This scene unfolds when the manipulator, feeling desperate and frustrated, cranks up the emotional dial. They may lash out in anger, dissolve into tears, or spin a web of guilt and accusation. They're hoping to break through the Sigma male's calm exterior, to push him off balance, to force a reaction. But here's the twist. The Sigma male doesn't respond as they expect. Instead of getting pulled into the drama, the Sigma male remains the eye of the storm, calm and collected. He listens, he observes, but he doesn't react impulsively. He doesn't let his emotions control his actions. In fact, the more emotional the manipulator becomes, the more serene the Sigma male appears. This contrast is baffling and frustrating for the manipulator. They're used to people responding to their emotional outbursts, to being able to control the situation through their feelings. But with the Sigma male, their tactics fall flat. Their emotional storm doesn't disturb his tranquil waters, and this, in turn, only serves to amplify their frustration. It's like shouting into a void, hoping for an echo, but hearing only silence. The Sigma male's calmness highlights the manipulator's emotional instability, making them feel exposed and powerless. This is where the Sigma male's emotional strength truly shines. He doesn't allow others to manipulate his feelings. He remains in control of his emotions, resisting the pressure to react impulsively. This isn't about being cold or uncaring, but about maintaining emotional balance and self-control. The Sigma male's Zen-like calmness in the face of emotional chaos is a testament to their emotional strength and self-control. It's a powerful display of emotional intelligence and resilience, a clear message that the Sigma male cannot be manipulated or controlled. It's a reminder that the Sigma male navigates life on his own terms, staying true to himself regardless of the emotional storms that may rage around him. In a final desperate attempt, some may resort to pleading or begging to gain control. But how does a Sigma male respond to such tactics? Here's a scenario we're all too familiar with: someone trying to manipulate us through emotional pleas or begging. They might believe that by showing vulnerability or by creating a sense of urgency, they can break through our defenses and make us dance to their tune. But here's the thing: Sigma males value rationality and logic over emotional manipulation. We're not cold-hearted or unfeeling, far from it. We empathize, we understand, but we don't let emotions cloud our judgment. Let's say someone comes to you with a sob story, trying to guilt you into doing something. As a Sigma, you'll listen, you'll empathize, but you won't let their emotions dictate your actions. You'll consider the situation objectively, weighing the pros and cons, and make a decision based on what's best for you and the situation at hand. This is not to say we're immune to emotions. We feel deeply, but we don't let our emotions control us. We understand that emotions are fleeting, and decisions made in the heat of the moment can lead to regret. So, when someone pleads, "Why won't you listen to me?" remember, you are listening. You're just not allowing their emotional state to sway your decision-making process. This might make people think you're heartless or uncaring, but remember, it's not your job to fulfill everyone's expectations. Your primary responsibility is to yourself. Now, this doesn't mean you disregard others' feelings or needs. Sigma males are known for their empathy and understanding. But we prioritize rationality and logic over emotional pleas, ensuring our decisions are sound and beneficial in the long run. So, the next time someone tries to play on your emotions, remember your strength as a Sigma male. You're not swayed by emotional pleas, but by rational arguments and logical reasoning. Stand your ground and trust your judgment. The Sigma male is not swayed by emotional pleas, but by rational arguments and logical reasoning. When manipulation fails, some resort to criticism, labeling the Sigma male as stubborn. But is it stubbornness or something else entirely? Now, this is where the backlash comes in. When people can't manipulate a Sigma male, they might resort to name-calling. And one of the most common labels thrown around is stubborn. But is it really stubbornness, or is there more to it? Here's the thing, folks. Sigma males aren't stubborn. They're emotionally independent. They have a strong sense of self, and they aren't easily swayed by others' opinions or emotions. They know what they want, and they stick to it, regardless of what anyone else thinks. This might come off as stubbornness to some, but in reality, it's a sign of emotional strength and self-reliance. When a Sigma male says no, they mean it. They don't waver, they don't give in to pressure, and they definitely don't let others guilt them into changing their minds. This can be frustrating for those who are used to people bending to their will. But for a Sigma, it's just another day in the life. What people fail to realize is that this stubbornness isn't a negative trait. It's not about being inflexible or unyielding. It's about staying true to oneself and not letting others dictate their emotions or decisions. Sure, it might be easier to go along with the crowd, to say yes when you really mean no, but that's not the Sigma way. Sigma males value their independence too much to let it be compromised. So the next time someone calls you stubborn, remember this: it's not stubbornness. It's strength. It's the strength to stand your ground, to hold on to your beliefs, and to not let anyone else control your life. Remember, Sigma males, you're not stubborn. You're emotionally independent, self-reliant, and strong. And that's something to be proud of. The Sigma male's stubbornness is actually a testament to their emotional independence and self-reliance. After repeated failures, some throw their hands up in frustration, unable to understand the Sigma male. But is it really that hard to get a Sigma male? Well, if you're used to dealing with more predictable personality types, the Sigma male can indeed seem like a complex puzzle. Let's delve into why that might be. The Sigma male is a rare breed. Unlike alphas, who are often at the center of attention, or betas, who tend to conform to the group, Sigmas follow their own path. They're self-reliant, emotionally independent, and they don't crave validation from others. This can be confusing for those who are used to interacting with people who wear their emotions on their sleeves. Moreover, Sigma males value their solitude. They're perfectly fine spending time alone, and they don't feel the need to constantly surround themselves with others. This love for solitude can be baffling for those who equate being alone with being lonely. But for Sigma males, solitude is not a punishment. It's a sanctuary. Additionally, Sigma males possess an unwavering self-control. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions, and they certainly don't let other people control them. This can be frustrating for those who are used to manipulating others or getting their own way through emotional tactics. Perhaps the most confounding thing about Sigma males is that they don't fit into the usual social hierarchy. They're not interested in being leaders or followers. They just want to be themselves. This can be perplexing for those who view life as a constant power struggle. In a world that often tries to put people into neat little boxes, the Sigma male stands out as a square peg in a round hole. They can be difficult to understand, not because they're complicated, but because they're different. Understanding a Sigma male requires understanding their love for solitude, emotional independence, and unwavering self-control. So next time you find yourself saying, "I just don't get you," remember, it's not about getting them. It's about respecting their unique approach to life. Ultimately, some come to the realization, maybe the Sigma male isn't the problem. But what leads to this sudden enlightenment? Let's rewind. We've seen the shock, the passive aggression, the emotional overflow, and the desperate pleas. We've witnessed the backlash and the frustration. And through it all, the Sigma male has remained unmoved, untouched, and unfazed. This is where the plot thickens. After all the attempts to manipulate, control, or provoke a reaction from the Sigma, some people are left with a mirror reflecting back on themselves. They begin to question, maybe the problem isn't the Sigma, maybe it's me. In this moment of introspection, they start to see that their attempts to control were born out of their own insecurities or need for validation. They realize that their frustration isn't with the Sigma male, but with their own inability to dictate the Sigma's behavior. It's a powerful shift, moving from blame to self-awareness. It's humbling to acknowledge that the problem was not the unyielding Sigma, but their own need for control. This realization often leads to self-reflection, possibly even growth. They begin to understand that everyone cannot be boxed, labeled, or controlled. They learn to respect individuality and personal boundaries. They may even start to admire the Sigma's self-assuredness and emotional independence. However, not everyone reaches this point of enlightenment. For some, it's easier to remain in denial, to keep blaming the Sigma for not fitting into their expectations. But for those who do, this realization can be a stepping stone towards personal development and emotional maturity. In a twist of irony, the Sigma male, often seen as the outlier, the lone wolf, the one who doesn't conform, may end up being the catalyst for others to reflect, grow, and evolve. The Sigma male, in their resistance to manipulation, may inadvertently lead others to a path of self-realization and growth. In the end, some come to respect the Sigma male for their unique qualities. But what leads to this shift in perception? After a series of failed attempts to manipulate, provoke, or control a Sigma male, people often start to see them in a new light. They begin to realize that the Sigma's emotional self-sufficiency, their fondness for solitude, and their calm demeanor in the face of drama are not signs of stubbornness or indifference. Instead, these are the hallmarks of a person who is truly in control of their life and emotions. This is where the shift happens. It's not an easy transformation. It requires a certain level of self-awareness and humility. But those who manage to make this leap, they start to appreciate the Sigma male for who they are. They begin to respect their emotional independence and their refusal to be swayed by external pressures or expectations. This respect isn't about admiration or approval. It's about understanding. It's about acknowledging that being different isn't a flaw, but a strength. It's about recognizing that the Sigma's way of life might be unconventional, but it's authentic and true to who they are. The journey of trying to manipulate a Sigma male can be a real eye-opener for those who take it. It can lead to a newfound respect for their unique qualities, and perhaps even inspire them to foster some of these traits in their own lives. They might learn to value their own emotional independence a little more, to appreciate solitude as a time for growth and reflection, or to stay calm and centered in the face of drama. Through their interactions with a Sigma male, they get a glimpse of a different way of living and being, and that can be a powerful thing. The Sigma male, in their steadfastness, can inspire respect and admiration, shedding light on the power of emotional independence. So, what can we learn from the reactions of those who attempt to manipulate Sigma males? The answer lies in the power of emotional independence. Throughout this journey, we've seen how Sigma males respond to different manipulation tactics. From the initial shock to the desperate plea, the backlash, the frustration, the realization, and finally, the respect. We've seen it all. Sigma males are not swayed by external validation. They thrive in solitude, remain calm in the face of emotional overload, and stay true to themselves despite the world's attempts to steer them otherwise. They are not the puppets of society, but the puppeteers of their own lives. The reactions of those who try to manipulate Sigma males reveal much more about the manipulator than the Sigma. It exposes their inability to understand the power of emotional independence and self-reliance. The Sigma male's resistance to manipulation is not just a trait, but a testament to their strength, independence, and self-reliance.